Don't let the title of this video confuse you. The Danganronpa series has some really complex murders and schemes. Every case in every chapter of this series goes super in-depth into what actually happens in a murder case. And for each murder case in the series, there's always at least one culprit behind it all. Or two, I guess. However, if you take into consideration the rules of each killing game and the class trial system that Danganronpa introduces, you'll get a lot of culprits in the series that don't really have as much of a fleshed out plan as the others do. Some of these characters miss some evidence, some of them fold under pressure, and then some of them are kinda just dumbasses. But I'm not here to say any of these characters are bad or horribly written, or even that these characters take away from the overall experience of the games. I'm just here to poke fun at some characters and be super critical of what their murder plans actually were, and to determine which culprit in every Danganronpa game was overall just not the smartest. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, support the channel. You're not gonna do it anyway. Let's just get on with the video. Danganronpa 1 Trigger Happy Havoc. I feel like it's fair for me to say that this game definitely has the least impressive murder plans. And I get it, this is the first time the audience is thrown into the killing game situation, but I can't mention dumbest Danganronpa culprits without mentioning Leon Kawada and Mondo Owada. And Celeste too, all three of them. I'm gonna talk about Mondo's plan first and pretty much everything that went wrong with it. Oh, but don't worry, Leon and Celeste, we'll get to you later. So Mondo got a little angry when he was with Chihiro, and he cracked under the pressure. He took up the nearest heavy object next to him and whacked him right in the cranium. But hey, it's okay, at least he committed his murder in a private setting. It would be a shame if someone witnessed the entire thing. This f***head killed someone right in front of a witness who just so happens to be the smartest character in the game. Nigga, you had one job. Mondo still did a good job of switching the change rooms and stuff. I know he wasn't really doing that to protect himself, but at the very least he did it. Like, I'll give him that. But when Mondo's in the class trial, he literally snitches on himself and reveals a detail that was not supposed to be revealed. Something only the killer could have actually known, because only the killer met up with Chihiro to work out in the change room. It doesn't help that Mondo killed his victim, left the crime scene, and let someone else come in the change room for them to tamper with everything and create a completely different crime scene. Meaning essentially, Mondo, the culprit, was being finessed from the get-go. And then there's Leon, who, let's cut him some slack. I mean, he was the first one to make this mistake. It doesn't mean Leon's plan wasn't incredibly flawed, however. My main problem just has to do with the amount of evidence this guy left behind. Like, Leon, she wrote your name on the friggin' wall, Leon. Come on, Leon. That's usually the first piece of evidence that comes to mind for everyone when thinking about why this case was so easy. But Leon was pretty careless with the incinerator too, which was a step that he took to erase evidence. The burnt piece of Leon's shirt that was found near the incinerator during the investigation wasn't doing him any favors either. You know what would have done my boy Leon some good favors? If he got a completely new outfit at IntoTheAm.com. I got another sponsor! Into the Am offers a diverse range of clothing options for men that go beyond graphic design. I was able to pick some products to showcase in this segment of the video, and I really love this t-shirt and jacket. The quality is absolutely amazing, and I love the designs they use for their graphic tees. With the holidays coming up, I would highly recommend taking a look at what they have. And not to brag, I can make that easier for you guys if you use my code, IntoTheAm.com/plusher. With this code, you'll get 10% off any product on the website. You'd also be supporting the channel and supporting yourself too with some good clothing.
See, even my girlfriend's rocking with my new jacket.
The link will be in the description and the pinned comment, so go ahead and check it out right now. That's IntoTheAm.com/plusher. All caps. Do it now. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I low-key feel like I could cut Leon some more slack though. He was definitely in a more panicked state and had to improvise a lot of what he'd done. The incident with him and Sayaka also occurred before they even learned about the class trial system. But there's another character in this game who knew the class trial system actually very well and already experienced it twice. In fact, she had the actual privilege of learning from the other two culprits in order to distinguish her own plan. So you would think Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler, would have just the slightest bit more efficient plan compared to everyone else. And yeah, in a way she kind of did, but it was still dumb. Why the f does Celeste try to pin the crime on Yasuhiro? I get he's like the dumbest character in the game and could be easily manipulated, but that creates a problem within itself because he doesn't have the brain power to do something like that. Look, I'm not gonna completely discredit Celeste here. Her murder plan was actually really complex, and her manipulating Hifumi in order to kill Taka, creating much more confusion in the case, was a pretty good move in my opinion. But at the same time, Celeste just didn't really need to be doing all this, especially as someone who can't act for shit and ran around the halls with everyone who should suspect her in a time frame that could mess up so so easily. I'm not saying Celeste is an idiot or anything, but honestly, the first 3 culprits of Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc just should all get a mention in this video. I just feel like the culprits in the other games definitely stepped up their game in terms of like well thought out murder plans in a situation like this. But out of Leon, Mondo, and Celeste, I low-key gotta give it to Mondo, bro. He wasn't really cooking. So Mondo's my pick for Trigger Happy Havoc. But what about Danganronpa 2? Honestly, for this video in particular, this is the hardest game to pick a dumb culprit for. So I'm definitely gonna be a bit more nitpicky here, but for this game and V3, I'm not gonna talk about as much culprits. For Danganronpa 2 in particular, I was very torn between Teru and Mikan. But since Mikan's case low-key doesn't make any logical sense in the game whatsoever, I think I'd just like to take a look at Teru and how he handled his situation. I'm gonna keep it a buck. When first playing Danganronpa 2, I didn't really suspect Teru for killing Byakuya that much. I was a dumbass. I didn't really pay attention to stuff, okay? Like every other culprit, Teru made his mistakes during his plan, and it doesn't really help that he didn't even successfully kill the person that he was going for. Teru only seemed to have done this when he found out about Nagito's plan, and while Teru did have other motives in mind, this is what specifically got him to act out of panic and kind of improvise a lot of his plan. Low-key, out of all the characters I'm going to mention in this video, I feel like Teru kind of had the smartest ideas, especially for someone who's arranging the first murder in their game. But the fact that he unknowingly killed someone else instead of Nagito kind of puts him on the dumbass list, I can't lie. But I'd definitely like to hear y'all's thoughts in the comments below, because I'm basically going off of memory and very limited research. Before we move on, I also just want to encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel and support the channel. Just you guys watching this video means the absolute world. It's awesome that you guys give me your time to watch these videos that I put out. But if you like the content I put up or just find it generally interesting, then feel free to subscribe or leave a like on any of my videos. I also obviously have a Discord server with plenty of fans of the channel. You'll find me really active in there, just casually talking to everyone, and all kinds of other cool people I've had the pleasure of meeting as well. So now we move on to Danganronpa V3. There are a number of things you could nitpick about the first 4 culprits in Danganronpa V3, but for this segment, I don't even think I need to nitpick Kaede, Kirumi, or even Gonta. Korekio might be the dumbest culprit of all time. Okay, maybe not of all time, that still low-key might be Mondo. I can't even decide properly, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Korekio had some smart ideas to protect his name. I mean, like, the locked room mystery was, I didn't see that coming. It's so simple, but also very well thought out. But honestly, it's like, here's the crazy part. This nigga didn't have to kill 2 people. Why did Korekio kill 2 people? There was genuinely no reason for him to do this.
No, Plushroom, he wanted to get more friends for his sister.
Shut the hell up. This is the greed they were talking about in the Bible. You could have killed either Angie or Tenko and be left off in a way better position. Preferably just Angie, because Tenko's murder was so damn obvious. It's really weird, because out of all the culprits, Korekio has the most selfish motive. Yet the nigga's acting like he doesn't even want to win the trial. Korekio killing Angie wasn't a part of the plan, yet he still followed through with murdering Tenko. Why? You could have just killed Angie and left it at that, but nah, this nigga decides to kill Tenko too and leave more evidence that points towards him. And then Monokuma introduces the rule that says only the first murder is the one that really counts. So when the group finds out that Korekio is the one responsible for Tenko's murder, the idea is pushed that he's not going to be the real black end of this case. So once everyone comes to the assumption that he was the one responsible for Tenko's murder, Korekio just confesses to killing Tenko in the middle of the trial, knowing damn well he killed Angie too. We just might not actually be dead ass right now. Cause what do you mean he's confessing to killing Tenko? You don't need to do that, bro. Not long after, they figure out that he killed Angie too, and is bye-bye Korekio. I don't care that Korekio was only killing for the purpose of his motive and his sister. I really could not give less of a f. At the end of the day, he was still trying to get away with his murders. But there were so many other ways he could have executed his plan in like a more efficient way. Look, guys, I'm not encouraging murder. This isn't a video where I'm teaching you how to get away with murder. But if you are gonna murder someone, don't do it like this guy. It all comes down to the fact that Korekio just did not need to kill 2 people. It's the reason why he got busted in the first place, and out of all the chapter 3 culprits, he had the worst way of doing a double murder. So my final answers for this video, for Trigger Happy Havoc, I'm gonna go ahead and say Mondo, but I talked about all 3 of them because I figured most people would pick either one. For Danganronpa 2, I'm honestly probably just gonna say Teru, and for V3, there's low-key little to no contest, that's Korekio. That's pretty much all I've got for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and staying tuned. If you want to see more Danganronpa videos of mine, be sure to check out my Danganronpa Plush series and some more of my commentary videos. Also, be sure to check out the sponsor for today's video. My Into the Am link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
How could I have taken the knife from the dining hall when I was too busy murdering Sayaki?